Hello, thank you for tuning in to this week's or this current pick a read I'm doing. For this pick a read, I'm going to use the deck of The Art of Love Tarot by Denise Jarvie, artwork by Tony Carmine Salerno. On the back here is the website blueangelonline.com. Feel free to check that out if you're interested. I'll put it back like that in case you want to see it. The next deck I'm going to use Cosmic Slumber Tarot by Tilly Walden. This is a Liminal 11 deck. I can't see the cameras. Hopefully I got this up there somewhere. Feel free to freeze frame and check that out if you're interested. Hopefully you're seeing that. I think this is also a Liminal 11. White Newman. That's the other deck I'm going to use, another tarot deck. I don't see the creator in this one. I think this is the one created by... Hopefully I can get that on there. Elba BG. And it's another Liminal 11 deck. If I can get it on camera, I can't really see. And then magical spell cards that I use quite often by Lucy Cavendish. This is illustrated by Jesse Reish, and hayhouse.com at the bottom here is the website. And I'll also give you the dice information. I'm using the 20, the 12, and the 4 these dice. The 20 I use for the Major Arcana, which does disclude 21, obviously. And then the 1 through 12 I use for Ace to Knight, and then 1 through 4 for the Elements. I just kind of work with whatever's missing. Alright, that's what I'm using for the decks and the dice. And now we'll get into your stone selections. The subject of this reading is going to be, what are your hidden possibilities? I just realized after I did all the card selections that I didn't put that, so hopefully I'll re-edit this a little better. So, what are your hidden possibilities? That's what we're trying to find in this reading. Thank you. Okay, here are the 5 selections. The first one is the bright green stone. I do know the names of a lot of them, but not all of them, so I'm just going to use the colors. So this is the first pile is going to be the bright green. Second one, it's got that silver stripe in it. A lot of times I think of it as the peacock stone, but I don't think that's right. The third one is, this one has a stripe of orange. I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up, but it's going to be the pale green with the orange stripe. That's going to be the third one. The fourth one is going to be this stone with the maroon stripe in it, is what it looks like to me. And then the fifth and final one is going to be the blue speckle. So, if you need a minute, go ahead, pause, decide what looks good to you, and watch whatever works out for best. Alright, and now on to whatever reading you're going to choose. Okay, so this reading is for those of you who chose the bright green stone. So I think I'm gonna try to keep it there for now and see if this works out for us. So that first position is where you currently stand, spiritually, where things are going. Ironically, this is where you're headed currently. This is where this is part of your current situation. This is where you're standing. This is kind of like if you're standing in the water, this is how the water is moving around you, if that makes better sense. This is what's not working. This is what is working. And this is all your possibilities of matching intent. We don't get the good and the bad from that, I'm noticing. That's alright. It's interesting. Alright, so... Okay. So, I just checked, make sure these made it on camera. I also got the dice so I can use those when I need to. What are you missing? What are you not seeing? You seem very content with something. So you do have a lot of possibilities. I keep seeing the 5 of Wands here. Whatever it is you're doing, and it could be any subject, obviously, work and family are what I keep getting for a lot of you. But take it as it resonates for you. There's a lot of conflict. There's already a lot of conflict going on. But the thing is, the conflict isn't going where you want it to go. I feel like when the conflict is here, I know it's here, and I'm going in the most, like, I feel the safest the way I'm handling it. It's like I constantly have to struggle, I constantly have to fight to make it work out, but I feel like I'm keeping what I want by going with the flow, even though it's a constant struggle, whatever you're dealing with. Can we get a little bit more about that? Four of Cups, half in, half out, and the Empress. Your needs are not being met in this situation. I feel like you're doing a lot for other people, doing what you feel like you have to do, and it's almost like accepting that it's a fight, but I'm not going to get any more than what I have, or I'm afraid to go for what I want because then this could get a lot worse. It's going into that unknown and figuring out what do you really want from this situation, because I'm getting the situation, you're not happy with it. So it's almost like if it was a family situation, for argument's sake. Maybe you're putting up with somebody with a bad attitude, and you're kind of like, well, I feel like I have to, because if I want to be a part of these events, if I argue with them directly, I feel like I'm going to be arguing with them by myself, or my other choice is to just not go at all, and that causes a different problem. I feel like you're putting up with something that you shouldn't be putting up with, even though there's constant controversy around the situation. It's like, I don't want to make it any worse than it already is. But what they're saying is that it's time for you to speak up. You have a possibility to make this situation a lot better. It's clearing out that energy that you need to do for those possibilities to come in. Because by doing so, you open doors that currently you don't feel you have a possibility with. There could be an improvement with some relationships if you're able to do this. Do you already know what this is about? I wonder. I'm assuming people who are going to this one. Two of Fire, and the Devil card, half in, half out. Putting up with something you shouldn't be. Kind of like, it's already a big enough fight. I don't want to make it a bigger fight. But it is time for you to say something. These two cards here, the Four of Cups and the Isis Inspiration, is kind of like the universe saying, you're already not happy. Instead of just being satisfied with, like, I'm already not happy, but I don't want it to get worse, it's kind of like, go for it. Say your piece, stand up for yourself. You're limiting yourself, and other people are also limited. You're not the only one in this boat. So you could look at it in the sense of like, well, why do I have to be the one that says something? I feel like a lot of people are feeling that, though. The reason I would say, if this is really hitting for you, to move forward and to do this is because you need better in your life. And maybe it shouldn't be on you to move or change this situation, but for your life to get better, you can change these circumstances and you can get better. By not saying anything, it's kind of, I feel like I'm being complicit or something with something. There's more to it. I'm waiting to see, like, can we have, like, what are you standing up against? Like, what do you have to stand up against? Like, can we get more details about that? Three of Pentacles and the Chariot card, half in, half out. I feel like the work is all on me if I say something. If I stand up for myself, if I move this where it should be, I feel like the work is all on me. I also feel like the wagon could break, if that makes sense. I feel like it could really break the situation. I could break the system. So if it was a work situation, I'm afraid I'll be fired. If it's a family situation, I feel like I'm going to be the one that is looked at as the problem and everybody's going to kind of gang up on me. I'm kind of fearing that. I'm also getting. But I also feel like before I go in there and start this conversation or get this going, I don't have to start it in the sense of like I want to argue. I just got to bring it forward and try to keep it calm. I can also have that backup already set, like, all right, if it goes that way, this is what I can do. That type of thing. Like if for example, if I'm going to a family gathering, I can park in a place where I feel like I can easily get to my car and quietly just leave if I feel like it's getting to be too much. And if it's too much, then it's too much and I don't owe anybody an explanation. Same thing with work. Like if I feel like I might get fired, I can update my resume ahead of time, see what else is already out there if I feel like this is where it's going to go, and I can just have myself ready to do what I need to do. If I feel like it's going to get that bad. I feel like I need to say something, or it's not going to get better. Whatever the situation is, it just doesn't get better, and I feel like they're saying you don't need to be satisfied with that. You don't need to leave it there. You don't need to be complicit with it. There's a word I'm not hitting on. Like, you don't have to be satisfied with being unsatisfied. Because I keep feeling it's like there's possibilities here. Nobody's moving forward is what I'm getting. There's a lot of controversy and conflict, but nothing is actually changing. I'm going back to like the work analogy because I feel like this is one of those things where we know we all work with this person or people and we know that they're doing unscrupulous things, but we don't feel like we have the power, or we're afraid to go to HR because HR is not going to be on our side. They're going to be on the company side, and we're more worried that we're going to be seen as the problem. Even if we get our way, aka our way, and make things work out the way they should and kind of point them out, we feel like it's going to backlash against us in the long run. I can relate to this. I have done this. It worked out for 3 years after. So if this is a work situation, you might want to look at the short term, enjoying the short term, and then like, I need to fix this now, see if it's going to work. If it doesn't, have extra ideas about where I can go after. There are possibilities here. This first one is a little bit rough, I gotta be honest with you, especially when you got the Five of Wands here twice. If you go forward and you do say what you need to say or do what you need to do, things change relatively quickly, very fast is what I'm getting. Because once you open your mouth, I feel like you're going to stay there and you're going to back up because you're like, I didn't come this far to give up. There might also be a bunch of people who kind of jump in on this situation and kind of say, well, yeah, I'm thinking that too, or I feel that way too. This might be a situation where somebody just needs to feel like there's a leader, or like they don't feel like they're standing up by themselves. And when you say something, I feel like other people will stand up as well. It does seem like it's not really choreographed well. I don't know if that's the right word to use. It's not really like organized well. There might be some back and forth on this, but you won't be the only one that feels the way you do, or at least feels that things are not right. Things will change very fast. You would be surprised how much you like that. The problem will not be solved immediately, but you might be surprised at the support you get that you were not expecting. This will start moving things forward where it should be, or in a better place. There might be changes that have to happen because of this. There could be people who get, I keep thinking of the word excommunicated, but well, if that fits, that fits. People might be excommunicated. People might leave or might lose their jobs if this is a job situation, or if it's a family situation. People might not talk to certain people after this. There might be certain events you don't get invited to after this, but it will reform in a way that's much better for you. It almost reminds me of keeping up a tradition because it's a tradition, not because you like it. And it's kind of like, maybe afterwards you might get blamed for like ending the tradition, but if you didn't like the tradition, why are you keeping the tradition? I would ask that as well. Anything else? Alright, that's what I got for the first one. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching us. If you're interested, see the information below to send me an email if you want a reading from me. It's jamesforastral@gmail.com. It's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's also below. Thank you very much for watching, and you have a great day. Hello, this is for the people who chose the peacock stone with the silver stripe in it right there. Let's go ahead and see what we got for you. I think I'm going to put that there. Okay, so this is your current position where you're currently at in the situation. This is a spiritual position. This is where things are currently looking like they're going to end up if things get better. Well, let's see. That's how like if this is the current, if you're in the water, this is the water. Well, no, this is you. This is the water you're standing in. This is the current of the water you're standing in. So like if this is be like if the water is murky, that would be saying this is the murky water. This is the current, like if the water is kind of rushing past you or staying stagnant. That's the difference between these two. In case that sounds weird, I'll keep going. Don't worry, it'll make sense as we keep going forward. This is what's not working. This is what is working. These are your possibilities. And these are your advice cards. Okay. So we want to know, what are your hidden possibilities? Okay. So the first thing is, I'm getting you're more stable than you give yourself credit for. I feel like there needs to be more searching out of what you might. I feel like whoever chooses this one, you have more talent than you realize you have. This is almost like somebody who can sing that never tries to sing because they don't believe they can. It's almost like somebody who can sing, but like they need a little bit of training. And if they took like a couple classes or like a couple lessons, I feel like people could show them that no, you can sing. You just got to put some effort into it. And you got to bring it to the surface. But you can definitely do it. You can do more with it than you think. Or like it's somebody who has art talent. So for example, for me when I was younger, I never really gave it a fair shot. I liked it, but I never really gave it a fair shot. I didn't think I could really do it. I got into college. I tried a couple drawing courses, and turns out I am pretty good at it, and I actually can do it. So this is like one of those things where I feel like they're saying there needs to be some more research. It's probably something you like but don't think you can do. I keep saying it's something like that. Could even be like cooking. Maybe for some reason somebody's told you or taught you that you can't do it or you're not good at it. But it's kind of like you haven't given it a fair chance. Maybe if you start watching a couple videos and just trying things out and start experiencing how certain spices work, how certain cooking works, you might be surprised at what you actually can do. I feel like giving things a shot, like you do have the ideas there, you have the possibilities there. I feel like there might be somebody else that keeps pushing you back as if, oh, come on, like that's a foolish thing to do. You shouldn't try that. Why would you try that? You're wasting time. You're going to waste money. There's no space for that. What would you even do with it even if you could do it? Which is not their business. But it seems like somebody keeps trying to push you back. Somebody else, see, you have a talent that somebody else doesn't. I keep getting that too. And there's nothing wrong with that. You definitely have a talent that somebody else doesn't. Can we get more about what's going on? There's like a block here. Somebody's trying to hold you back is what I keep getting. Somebody makes you feel like, even if you could do it, what good would it be? That type of thing. It's a friendly energy that doesn't believe in themselves, let alone anybody else. That's ironic. It's a friendly energy, but they literally don't believe in themselves. And by not believing in themselves, it's like they're bringing themselves down and they have to bring you down with them. Kind of like we're the same, talentless people, we're the same. It doesn't mean that they don't have any talents, but for some reason whenever you try to do something, I feel like they're kind of like putting you down or kind of like, don't do that, it's a waste of money, don't do that. Even if you could do it, what would you do with it? Even if you could sing, what good would it be? What worth would it be? If you like doing it, that's the worth. It doesn't matter. You'd be surprised what doors open. Especially with the way social media is nowadays. I'm getting the first step is to try, to give something a chance, to let yourself research it, maybe privately. So if this is somebody you live with, maybe when you're at work on break, or maybe you just have a moment to yourself, do some searches on your private account, search out the information, start finding out what does it need to do. Maybe there's something you could try just for free. There's a lot of things on YouTube. Who knows what you can find? Make sure it's safe, of course. Take the safety precautions. You have more talent than I feel like people are giving you credit for, at least somebody. To move it forward, I feel like I have to do a little bit of research first to decide what I want to try, and then just try to start moving forward with it, just making it happen. Whatever that means to you. It doesn't have to be very expensive going forward, but I do feel like if you start searching it down, I feel like at first you're going to find out that you have more talent than you thought. You're going to want to keep going down that road, and then you will find ways to support that talent. The biggest thing is the joy and peace that you could get from this. To be your leader, to be your own personal leader. I've heard from a lot of people over the years, not everybody, but a lot of people, that when they lead themselves and they do what they want to do privately, or they don't let other people tell them, they just do what they want, as long as they're not hurting anybody else, it's none of their business, they do a lot better. They don't have those social connections in the sense of like, I'm not doing it for other people to be happy, I'm doing it for me to be happy. This is definitely something you want to do that you would be happy. So I'll go back to the singing thing. So like, if there's a certain type of singing you like, or if there's a certain way you like to sing, if you hear certain songs but you'd rather it sung a different way, you don't do it to impress other people. Do it so that you're enjoying it. That's where you're going to find this hidden talent, this hidden opportunity, because the opportunity is born from that. It reminds me of like one of those shows where they have the talented people come in and then the judges decide, if they're really talented or not, and then the judges sometimes have ideas of where they should go with it versus where they have been going with it. You don't want to subject yourself to like other people's opinions about what you should do with your talent, whatever this is. You have to make it so that you're enjoying it. So for example, I'll even use painting for an example. Maybe there's only certain colors you really enjoy painting with. You like to do red hues, purples, maroons, pinks, some oranges maybe, very muted. Whatever you like, that's the only colors you want to do. You can do that. There's nothing wrong with that. Other people might be like, I don't really care for that. It's a bit much for me. I'm just like, I don't know what to do with that. They don't need to. As long as you're enjoying it, it will either evolve to a place where it actually makes sense and you might make something out of it you weren't expecting, or you're going to find people who do actually love it. Not everybody's supposed to. Because I keep getting like, I'm getting along with people, but I'm not going towards my dreams. I'm letting other people stop me from going towards my dreams. And there's a lot of conversation here. If it's a talent, they're saying kind of work on it internally more. The Ace of Swords doesn't have to be communication with others. It can be communication internally, or maybe you could find a support group online or other people who are learning it or other people who have tried to go down those paths. You might be surprised what you can find. Especially, I'm going to use YouTube as an example because obviously I'm on YouTube. Other people, you can like search up how did they start singing, how to start singing, stuff like that. You might be able to go down the rabbit hole and find things you never thought you could find, stuff like that. Whatever it may be. I keep getting like, you got to start searching out your own possibilities and not look for other people's approval for you to look for these possibilities. There's something here. There's something definitely here. Can we get like, I mean, obviously it's a general pickle read, so I'm not going to get exactly what it is, but something that could help this person, whoever chose this, get closer to whatever they need. It could make them happier. Ace of Cups and the Moon card. It's something you already love that maybe you don't feel like you can actually do, or maybe you feel like you can't do it to the level of satisfaction that you feel like you need. So I'll use singing again because think of the best singer you can think of. So for me, maybe it's like Cher or Celine Dion, or I'm trying to think of a male singer. It's just not popping in my head. John Bon Jovi. There we go. Maybe you're like, well, I can't sing like them, and you want to sing like that. You don't need to sing like them. You got to sing like you. Don't worry about other people and how they've found success. You're not looking to recreate somebody else's story. You're creating your own story. You may be surprised that you can find what you can do and be extremely happy with it. It may be nothing like people that you idolize, but it doesn't have to be for you to be extremely happy. You might be surprised about that going forward as well. So I feel like they're saying is research this on your own, step back from other people's opinions, create what you want to create. If this does start going forward, by the way, you might want to keep it private for a month or two. And once you're in it and you feel more stable, you can share that you're doing it, but you want to keep it to yourself as well. I feel like this is a path for you. This isn't a path for whoever else is here, because I feel like this energy, this downer energy, if you add them in later, they'll just bring it down later. This is something private for you. So if you identify who this energy is, they're kind of like pulling you back, or like, no, you can't do that, or what would the point be? They don't need to be a part of this. These needs to be something for you. You can add people in, but not people who've been a downer in the past. New people who are very supportive, new people who also want to do what you want to do and excel with it and have that confidence, yes. People from the past who've kind of like limited you or said, what would the point be anyway, do not add those in. Keep that in mind. Please remember that. All right, I think we're there. So I'm going to shut this one down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day. Hello, this reading is for those of you who chose the third pile, which is the muted green stone with the orange stripe. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. I hope you can. It's right there. Let's see what we have for you guys for your possibilities. What are your hidden possibilities? Hopefully not hiccup. Yep, hiccups. Okay. This one is where you're currently standing. This second one is the spiritual position. This is where things could end up. This is the kind of the current of, this is like how things are working around you right now. So this is you standing in the middle of how things are working. So like if you're standing in the middle of the mall, this is you standing there, how you're reacting to it. This is would be the mall and the current of the people in the mall, if that makes sense. This is what, I'm gonna move you down. This is what's not working. This is what is working. These are your possibilities. You got the White Newman. That's a great card. Ooh, an Ace of Cups. You get a lot of cards. You did get a lot of cards. You got success here. Okay. So, your possibilities. Okay. This is, no matter how I look at it, I keep getting this relationship based. It does not have to be romantically. But there's somebody that you could get along with a lot better. There's somebody that things could go a lot better with. Your hidden possibilities are in connecting with somebody else. Somebody that I feel like you shy away from. They're different from you. They're definitely different from you. I feel like they are who they are. Whoever this person is, don't get caught up in the gender. I'm getting the King of Pentacles, which is the King of Trees. They are who they are. I feel like they're unique. At least they're unique. Or maybe you're the unique one. You're definitely different. This does not have to be a romance again. It could be, though. I feel like I use a lot of energy to stay away from this situation, or I just stay busy so it's not a problem. Or I just make myself too busy to talk with them too much. I feel like they want you to make plans. Maybe they've tried to get you to make plans a couple times. This is a very interesting energy. I feel like this is somebody you actually, it's not that you don't like them, it's just maybe they make you nervous, or maybe there's people around you who don't like them. And it's kind of like, especially if this is like a job situation, kind of like, I like them, but I know that management doesn't. So if I start warming up to them, I feel like management's going to look at me the way they look at them, and that could like damage my career. This could be one of those. This could be somebody. Oh, this is going to be cringy, but I'm going there because this is what I'm getting. If this is a romance thing, could be. It doesn't have to. It could be a friendship thing. Somebody else in your family has a problem with this person. It could be somebody, like maybe it's a former romance, and it's not like somebody you want to be in a romance with. So like, for example, maybe this is somebody you used to get along with, then they divorced out of the family, but you still enjoy them, you still would like to talk to them, but you're going to get a lot of flack from the family if you do. Could be one of those things. There's something blocking you, because I feel like I really want to, but I feel like people are going to be really upset. Or I'm really worried that like people are going to judge me for hanging out with this person. Maybe I'm wondering, or it could be a religious difference where I'm nervous to like what they're into. I'm nervous to find out. So this is interesting. Plans, I feel like if I keep planning it, that's not going to work, by the way. You got success here. Can we get a little bit more on that? That's interesting. Because this is like what's not working. I feel like maybe they're trying to pull things together and that's not working. Ten of Wands and the Star card. You also have the Ten of Wands over here. That's one. I used one as fire, in case you're wondering. This is going to come forward in its own time. You have a possibility coming up. I feel like they have plans. Your connection to the plans might be random, though. So it's almost like somebody's going to go to an event. And you know in like a month or so they're going to go to this event. Maybe you're not really sure that that's going to happen and you're keeping it to yourself, but maybe you're going to show up at that event, because I feel like a random moment could change things and bring more confidence to you. Again, this could be romance. It doesn't have to be. I feel like I know where this person's going to be, though. Which I'm a little kind of like, I hope this isn't stalkery. Don't be stalkering. Don't be stalkering. Let's just make up words. It's fun. Why not? Don't be stalking people. Make sure this person is on the same page. If this is going to be hitting, this person talks to you or is willing to talk to you or is happy to see you. If this person, if you see them or if you show up at an event that they're at and they seem to be unhappy, leave them alone. I'm just saying, just be careful. This should be something where this person wants to be closer to you, but you've been blocking it. This is going to be how, if you're the one blocking it, this one is for you. Because I'm getting like, I've been staying busy, I've been too busy, I've been trying to stay away from the situation. I think about it, but I don't move towards it. That would be your side. If you're not blocking it, then this reading isn't for you. Just be careful. If you're showing up and somebody doesn't want you there, this is not what we're doing for. Because I feel like there could be that twinge. Let's just be careful with that. This is also should be somebody, if you send them a message, they will talk to you. If you're sending them messages and they're ignoring you, this reading is not for you. I keep getting this weird energy all of a sudden, like somebody might get confused. If you're trying to contact somebody and they don't want to, and they're not responding, this is not the reading for you. It could be the reason you're seeing this reading is that they might show up randomly. And if they show up randomly, that's fine. Take it as it goes. Chill out. Be cool with it. But you showing up randomly for them is going to go horribly wrong. Don't do that. So if this reading is flipped and you're the one that you want to be closer, but the other person keeps avoiding you, do not go towards them. Let them go towards you. I don't know. That was weird how that just kind of came in out of nowhere. Maybe we just had to clarify that. Because what I'm getting is that if this comes together, that random moment, like they're going to be somewhere, you're there, not imposing, but kind of like say it's a festival, like a cheese festival, and you're just like, they're that they're going to go there, and you're like, oh, maybe I'll check it out and see what it's about. And you just kind of see each other, and they're like, oh, it's good to see you here. If this is for you, they will react positively. That's a moment where you need to talk a lot of things out. I feel like you need to work out like what the differences are here. I feel like this is a point where I need to, at the very least, allude to the things that have been holding me back and kind of talk about those things, because I get that for this to flourish, we got to deal with what's stuck. This is usually the Hanged Man. This makes me feel like there's issues that need to be worked out. There's things that need to be talked about. If we can work these out in a positive way, that's when you have the White Newman and the King of Wands coming in. You have a lot that can come from this connection, but we definitely have to deal with what's in the way, and we have to address what's not working. We have to be honest about what we're both thinking and like where we want the situation to go, see if we match, and then we have to deal with what the challenges are right there. So for the people that this is going to hit with, I'm getting like, it's time to step away from what's holding you back. Open the door and see what's there. Give this other person a chance. This is a relationship thing. It doesn't have to be romantic, but there's something where maybe I want a friendship or I want a connection with this person that I don't have. So I got to move forward to make that happen. If I can do that, I feel like over time you can get this Ace of Cups. That's what this is. The Ace of Hearts is the Ace of Cups. But it's kind of like just randomly showing up somewhere that's not offensive to them. I'm cringing that I'm saying that because I feel like somebody's going to watch this and take it the wrong way, and it makes me nervous. If they're avoiding you, let them continue to avoid you. If they're avoiding you, let them avoid you. I keep feeling like there's somebody's going to watch this and they're going to take it the wrong way. I'm nervous about that. Because I feel like there's going to be a lot of work to make this work out. Both sides have to be interested. If they're happy to see you, that will come out. They'll want to talk to you. If they walk away, or if they break the connection, keep in mind this is a general read. Even though it's a picker reading, it's still a general read. If they walk away, let them walk away and just take that as a shutdown. Leave it where it is. It's weird that I keep getting these conflicting views because I keep feeling like somebody's going to watch this and they're going to get the wrong idea. If they're avoiding you, do not approach them. Leave them alone. If you show up and then this doesn't go like you thought, they don't seem to be happy to see you and they walk away from you, leave it and walk away and let it be. They'll approach you if they're interested. If this is something where you're avoiding, this reading is for more of like you're avoiding them. For the people this is really going to hit with, you're avoiding them. This can come together. You just got to take this random moment to get to know them. That's what this is. So if you're avoiding them, that's one thing. That's who this reading is for. Not for if they're avoiding you. If they're avoiding you, let them avoid you. Leave them be. I can't believe it keeps going back and forth. I keep feeling like I'm nervous that the wrong person's going to watch this. I keep getting that weird feeling. Okay. Is there anything else with this? All right. I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. I should have the email up there somewhere. If you're interested in the donation information that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching and have a great day. Hello, this one is for those who chose the stone with the maroon stripe. It looks maroon to me anyway. Let's see what are your hidden possibilities. Okay. This is where you're currently standing. You seem to like you're open to a lot, so that's good. This is the spiritual spot. Oh, whatever it is you want, whatever this possibility is, it's going to take some work to get it there, which is not bad. This is where things could end up. This is how things are currently going around you. So you're open to possibilities, but you might be over-bonded to some stuff. Maybe you're not taking care of yourself well enough. Courage and imagination. Okay, all of it's kind of like over to the side there. It's very heavy to the one side, I'm noticing. So this is what's not working. This is what is working. You're going through a change anyway, is what I'm getting. For those of you who picked this one, you might be going through a very difficult time. It could be just with a certain subject. Maybe this time of years or whenever you're watching this is difficult for you. Maybe you've lost a relationship, you've lost a job, maybe somebody did pass away, something like that. Because I feel like there's loss here. Could be even a pet, could be that. Because I feel like I'm trying to be optimistic and I'm moving forward, but there's definitely loss. When I get this card in this situation, I keep getting like I'm taking care of other people more than I'm taking care of myself. And I almost feel like I'm downplaying my own emotions, as if it's not that bad for me, I can keep moving. But there's definitely a change. For some of you, I feel like you maybe have changed positions at work, and it may seem like it's a minimal thing, but it is causing you emotional upset that maybe you're not addressing. And this might be one of those things where, if we're going to use the work analogy, maybe you didn't really choose to go to this new position. Maybe they just rebalance some stuff and you have to do something that you really didn't want to be a part of. Or, for example, I'll use another work example. You've been on the phone, maybe you've been answering phone calls, but the phone calls are getting a little bit more brutal and things have changed work-wise for the business. And now the calls that weren't that bad have become pretty unsavory. Let's just put it that way. Could be something like this. So I feel like you're going through some type of a loss, which is, for those of you who are going to hit this, it should be already happening. It could be happening within the next week or two, just to be fair. For those of you who, because I keep getting there's some type of loss here, and that I get like I'm just trying to do what I'm supposed to do. What the advice here is to like be more. It's not selfish, but I feel like for those of you this is going to hit with, you're going to feel like it is selfish, in the sense of like, let's start looking at what you want. Let's start figuring this out for you, especially if this is a work situation, because I know people get in these conundrums where they feel very loyal and very obligated to help the other people out on their team. Or maybe they feel like other people have been there for them, they want to be there for them. Been there for them, they want to be there for these other people. This is a situation where it's kind of like this might be the time to kind of look at other possibilities. Can we get like what this new beginning is? The Three of Wands, half in, half... You can move on. Whatever this situation is, it's time to reevaluate what you're doing and look at a whole new possibility. Okay, so I got another thing with this. Maybe, for example, you're in a romantic relationship or you're married to somebody, but that marriage is just kind of like... It's kind of like, yeah, we technically are, but it doesn't feel like it. I feel like those of you that's going to hit with, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Kind of like they're there. From the outside it looks good, but from the inside I feel like I'm living life by myself. They do what they want. We see each other. Maybe we have meals together, but we barely talk, or we don't talk of anything of substance. It's basically like, why are we together? One of those things. The end is here. The end is coming forward. I feel like, if I'm going to be fair, this could be also like saying this. Maybe this is one of those things where you keep thinking that it's time to move, but you don't move. It may be the time to end a situation, but you don't end it. You keep looking for better possibilities, but kind of like, I could end it, but maybe there's possibilities here. Maybe I shouldn't give up on it. And maybe it's not giving up on the situation, but choosing you instead of whoever else this is a part of. Maybe it's choosing you instead of the job. Maybe it's choosing you versus whoever maybe you're married to. Take it with a grain of salt. It's choosing you versus choosing somebody else. And they're saying if you want your possibilities to come forward, you might have to break this bond, you might have to break this contract to choose you and to get what you really want out of life. There's a lot of energy pushing forward. There's a lot of possibilities here for you. This is kind of like a Seven of Cups card to me in this relationship because it's being backed up by the Three of Wands. You have a lot that can pull you forward. You have a lot of possibilities. This reminds me of somebody that you're making a decision to where whatever it is you're sticking with, you could look back 10 years from now and realize that you're even less happy than you are now, but even feel even more stuck than you do at the moment. You could also look back in 10 years and look at, like, if I had made that change, where would I be today versus where I am? This could be that moment for you where, like, I can make that change today. That way in 10 years I can look back and be very thankful that I made this change. This is about you moving on from something. That's the possibility here, is you letting go of something that you keep trying to fix, you keep trying to make work, you keep trying to believe that it's for the best, but you really don't want. And this is a situation where it takes more from you than it gives to you. It's like you put in $1, it gives you back 50 cents. You put in $2, it gives you back 50 cents. You put in $5, it gives you back 50 cents. No matter how much effort you put in, it doesn't grow. It just always gives the same, no matter how much you put in it. And I'm getting, like, the Fool here for you is saying you have a lot of beautiful energy that you're trying to make something better. You're trying to make more of it. But that energy is being wasted here. If you want more possibilities, if you're looking for those hidden possibilities, it's seriously considering letting go of whatever it is you have a hold of and going somewhere else and starting anew. Whether it be a new job, maybe it's just letting go of a marriage, maybe it's a house, maybe you're holding on to a house and you're like, I keep trying to make it work. I bought this house. I really want to love this house, but it's becoming, every time I fix one thing, two more things need to be fixed. Maybe it's time to let go of something like that. Especially if it's like an heirloom house, in the sense of like you inherited it from someone. I don't know if you'd really call that an heirloom house. I think I used that term incorrectly. But anyway, I think you get the gist of where I'm going for this. Is there anything else? What could help you get over this hurdle? Acknowledging, having that conversation with yourself and acknowledging what you really are getting from the situation. I feel like a pro-cons list might help with this. What do I get from it? What do I give to it? What do I want from it? What do I get from it? Do I feel, when I think about this situation, am I excited? When I think about this situation, does it kind of depress me? Especially if I look at the history of where it's been over the last 2 to 5 years, depending how long you've been a part of it. If I look about where it's been, and I kind of like try to judge where it's going to go based on the history, do I really feel like it's going to get better, or do I feel like I'm going to be putting in 10 times the effort, and like I'm going to start giving $10 and I still get 50 cents out? So it's just basically me giving to a charity that never gives back to me. I mean, I feel like that would get you unstuck, to realize that you're not getting what you need out of this situation. To have that conversation with yourself, to have some private time. Maybe, for example, if you have a moment where you can go on lunch or on break, or maybe sometime on the weekend by yourself where you need to go, like, I'm going to go shopping or whatever you're going to do, and you're off by yourself, get yourself a nice, I know this might sound like a bad idea, but get yourself something, maybe some fast food that you like, maybe get yourself some coffee and a donut or something, and just sit in your car and just think about things. Try not to eat your feelings. I know that's not a good thing, but it might be enough to make you happy in that moment, to just really be honest with yourself, write down what you're thinking, write down how you're feeling, that way you can get it together. And I feel like once you honestly see what the situation is, how much you're putting in versus what you're getting out, I feel like that'll ignite the change, and it'll just start taking a life of its own. You'll start making small steps in the sense of like, all right, I don't really like this anymore, this isn't working out. If I was going to end this, what type of jobs would be out there, for example, if it's a work thing? Or for example, if I was going to leave this person, if I was going to end this marriage, how would I start that divorce? And just kind of like maybe talking to other people who have gotten divorced, and how did they start the process? Or maybe just looking up divorce lawyers, or looking up on YouTube how to get a divorce, or the process of a divorce, or maybe somebody has a checklist of stuff that they did, if you decided that's what you needed to do. This isn't pushing you towards anything you don't want, by the way. If you want the situation, keep it, but that would get you over the hurdle. I feel like that's what they're saying. This is where your possibilities are. You have a lot of great things. You have a lot of great energy, but there's something here that's holding you bound down that needs to be let go. Something here that needs to end. If that ends, then you have a bright, beautiful future with a bunch of possibilities. I was going to say 1 million possibilities, which is probably true. All right, I think we're there. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day. Hello. For those of you who chose the blue speckled stone, what are your hidden possibilities? All right. I'm going to move this up here for this, and let's see what we have for you. Right, so this is where you're currently standing. You're holding the line. This is spiritually that you have the strength to do this. And let's see where the rest of this is going by the time I get all these cards down. Okay. Yours is kind of heavy on one side too. I want to say the one with the maroon stripe was very similar. Okay, so right now, I feel like you're the target. I feel very targeted. This might not be like literally like somebody's coming for your job or somebody's trying to throw you out of where you live. Not like that, but more like I feel like somebody always tries to put the blame on me. No matter what happens, it's kind of like, if somebody unexpected shows up for dinner, I automatically get blamed for not telling them not to come, or not having enough for them, or this or that. I always seem to get the blame. I always say, no matter what happens, it seems like I always get the blame. And it has nothing to do with you, and it's not fair blame. I feel like you have a very cooperative attitude. I also feel like this cooperative attitude is being used against you, just to be fair. Somebody is kind of using your good nature against you is what I'm getting. So to get these possibilities, I feel like the first step is to realize that somebody is being manipulative or making you a target or a scapegoat. Especially if this is a work situation, I feel like somebody always uses you as the target. Like, well, tried to make that work, but the person that chose this stone is the one screwing up my whole life. So there you go. Can't make anything work, not with them around. Like, I feel like somebody's just really rotten about it too. Like, they're very manipulative. This could be somebody you're married to. This could be somebody that you're in a relationship with, or like a friendship. It could be anything like that. This is actually limiting you in great ways, which is ironic. It's limiting you in the sense of like you can't flourish while you're being held down by this energy. It's really causing you issue. This could be to the level where I would highly recommend, I want to say it's betterhelp.com. Katie Morton, if you look up her on YouTube, she always is putting up little things, and I think like Shaba, Shaaba, I think is her name. I think she's always putting things up for BetterHelp too. You might want to talk to somebody to kind of deconstruct what this person has been doing to you, because I feel like somebody's been doing a mental number on you, holding you back, and it's been keeping you from moving forward. Especially because I feel like you have a very cooperative energy, a very cooperative effort. You're a very good person, whoever this is, if you're watching this. You have the strength to get through this, but you've been holding back because I feel like somebody else is making you feel like, you're the problem in all these situations. You're not the problem. That is what's holding you back from getting all these other possibilities. That's what's hiding your possibilities, ironically. I feel like you need to come in harmony with yourself. You need to disconnect from whoever's treating you like this. These two together, I feel like that's literally what's blocking you. This energy is making you feel like you're the problem, and you're not the problem. If you can come into harmony with yourself and see your own beauty and get out of this situation, that's where things will move forward, and I feel like they'll move forward quite fast when you actually connect with that true energy of who you are and how valuable you really are. I'm also going to go ahead and say, this might be also a situation where you don't fit where you are. So I'm just going to use this. Hopefully this doesn't sound bad. Hopefully I can say this correctly. So for me, for example, I'm good at math. It's just one of those things in my family. A lot of us are good at math. We just don't have a problem with it. but like I'm not good at writing. This is me, maybe I being in a job where there's a lot of writing, there's a lot of communication, there's a lot of things that have to be written down. Writing is not my forte. It's just not something I excel at. Can I do it? Technically. Do I do it well enough to make my point? Yes. I mean, I can follow the grammar, but it's not exciting. It's not going to, it's not going to grasp you and go, "Ooh, I read something so exciting." No, not for me or not. But but math, on the other hand, I can get that together. I can make numbers balance. I can do what I need to do. I know some accounting stuff like that. This is like somebody like me being stuck in a writing position where you have to write, or like trying to write articles for a newspaper. I feel like that would be torture for me. It's other people constantly saying, "You're not a good writer, you're not a good writer, you're not a good writer." Well, you know what? Maybe that's not your forte, but people don't get to beat you up because of it. I mean, if you have the job and they're paying you for the job, be happy for what you do and leave me alone. Like, there could be something like that where you're in a spot where you don't fit. It doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't mean you did anything wrong. It could be that you don't fit where you are, just to be fair. That doesn't make you a bad person. That doesn't mean you did anything wrong. But people might be weaponizing that against you as if, you're what makes the situation bad. No, the person who hired you didn't know what they were doing, apparently. I mean, or whatever you're here, you have certain things that you're good at, but maybe this is just not where you need to go. If that's the case, I feel like, for example, for me, if this is the case, like if you're in a situation where you're good at math, you're not good at writing, but you're writing articles for a newspaper, you don't like writing the news articles. You don't like doing it. It's like it's not a job that you enjoy. Maybe it's a job you feel like you have to have, so keep that in mind. If that analogy is going to hit with you. So it could be the possibility that you're in a spot that you don't really fit in. Either way, if somebody's attacking you and making you feel like you're the problem, you got to get away from that. So it's time to change what you're doing. It's time to step out of that. It's come into harmony with what you're good at, and what you really like, and what you really enjoy. And for example, maybe you are a person that's a writer, but you don't like writing about news articles. You don't like to write about, what happened in these war-torn countries. You don't like to write about murders and stuff like that. Doesn't mean you're a bad person. You don't want to write about it. That's fine. It's not for you. Maybe you like to write romance novels. Maybe you like to write, other things about science fiction. Maybe you like to write documentaries about people who have lived before you, stuff like that. Autobiographies? I don't think I'm using that right. Maybe that's something you more want to do. That could be like another thing. So for example, if we're going to use the writing analogy again, you're writing things that you don't really care for. That way, so your spirit isn't in it. This is not the place for you. You need to write something different that really does catch your spirit and really does move you forward. Once you see this energy for what it is, it's about moving on from it. It's about realizing it's toxic, disconnecting from it. Highly recommend that BetterHelp. I'm a big fan of Paul McKenna too, How to Mend Your Broken Heart. Whether this is a romance thing or not, you can use those exercises to downplay that energy and keep it away from you. So even if they're talking to you face to face, they don't have that much power over you anymore. Keep that in mind. There's a lot here waiting for you. You got to disconnect from this. This is holding you back. Once you've disconnected from this, you'll remove this block. You got to work. You got to deal with the block for it. They're also saying that, like, you have to first get away from it, then you have to deconstruct it. Then your possibilities come in. This whole new thing is like getting in harmony with yourself, getting away from it, deconstructing it. Then you have your possibilities coming in. There's a lot there for you. I feel like with the people this is going to hit for, there's a block caused by somebody else. We have to get away from that person, deconstruct it. Then everything opens up for you. But you have to deconstruct it. The way I'm reading this, you have to deconstruct this one way or another. Whether it's the Paul McKenna way with the book, I'm a more self-help person, or if you're going through BetterHelp, or you're finding somebody to talk to like deconstruct what this person did, so you can get back your true strength. That has to be deconstructed first, so you can have your true possibilities. It's not about what the possibilities are. It's more about how to find them on this one. Are we good? All right. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email. jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.